Hey there, this is Matt once again. Well, been at the video store again renting movies because for the next, it's a 30-day thing. Have a few weeks left. Things are half off, and I'm on other deals, so some movies are available to rent as little as 25 cents. Just like two for $1, but then with the half off, it's like two for 50 cents. So I rented this. Why? How bad is it? This is one of the most worthless fucking movies since the remake of Psycho. Now, it's not 100% shot for shot like the Psycho remake, but pretty damn close. Now, the original Cabin Fever, I'm not the biggest fan of. When I first saw Cabin Fever back in the day, I liked it. That's one of those films, though, I don't think has aged the best for me. When I watched it again a couple years ago, I think for rant on this channel, has good gore. Ryder Strong wasn't bad in the lead. The guy who played Bird, he was an asshole, but like he was supposed to be the asshole, and I thought he did a good acting job for what he was supposed to be. I thought the actors, they did the parts they were asked. I'm just not a big Eli Roth fan. Uh, Hostel, I probably could deal with if it wasn't for the shitty sequel, which fucking ruined the first movie pretty much. Well, the first movie has its issues as well. I'm just not a big Eli Roth fan. So for some reason, he decided to produce this, directed by a guy who doesn't even have a fucking last name. He's called Travis Z, which makes fucking sense because it will give you the Z's. It will go zzz. That's what it does. It gives you Z's. I mean, for fuck's sake, at least have a fucking last name, director. Travis Z. Is that like some hip thing? I don't need a last name. Call me Z. Travis Z. For what? Zit? Because popping a Zit would be better than popping this in your fucking player. 2002, 2003, this film, the original came out, and they decided to remake it. There's a little making of, they barely touch on it. They mention how they did 2 direct-to-video sequels, and the guy's like, well, they did okay, but not what we wanted. So, in other words, they weren't as successful as you thought. So, in order to, should we do another sequel? No, let's just do a remake. But use the same script. They do little differences, but while the original was more of a dark comedy, this is more of a straightforward horror film. But you're doing most of the same shit, and it's fucking stupid. And the thing is, this is a good concept and a good title. Cabin Fever is a good title. The concept. Say Evil Dead, except demons, it's a flesh-eating virus. Bunch of kids go to a cabin in the middle of the woods. This flesh-eating virus. You put a little bit of paranoia. Who's infected? Who's not? In a capable writer and director's hands, you could have a classic. But unfortunately, you're using pretty much the same script Eli Roth had in the original, which was your big mistake for this. Because, what's something I've said before? If you don't remake a movie, you remake a shitty movie. But then don't use the same fucking script and do pretty much the same fucking movie. Only instead of the quirky comedy, it's more straightforward. Maybe they're like, well, people don't. Maybe they know some people don't like Cabin Fever, the original, and they thought, well, if we take away and make it more of a straightforward. But again, you still, if you've seen the original, you've seen this. Except for maybe like 10 differences. You still have the lead guy, the asshole named Bert, the guy who's kind of germaphobe in a little bit, and he takes his alcohol and beer and leaves until the end of the film, and he gets shot to death, just like in the original. You have the girlfriend, and then you have the, I think, blonde hair, and then you have a dark hair woman. You still have the little kid who says pancakes. He doesn't do karate moves. And I should have, known something was up. Because, I thought, okay, it gets bad reviews, let me give it a chance. But in less than 5 minutes, they play the Shining music. The fucking Shining music when the kids drive up the road. They do a shot kind of similar to The Shining, and they literally use The Shining music. Well, because in the original you had The Road Leads to Nowhere, which is the last house on the left. So, let's do The Shining music? And I hate to say it, the original Cabin Fever is a better film than this. It's quirkiness, it's comedy. The characters had more personality. Here, the people are just wooden. I don't know if I should blame the actors. Maybe it's just the direction by Travis Z that was given. Or having to follow the same fucking script, which that script does not work in a straightforward, because, we're supposed to think these kids are smart, but yet here's a perfectly sick woman. They know she's sick. You go from them checking their bodies to see if they have marks, and then they take the girl to a shack, but they're literally holding her, touching her. Oh, she's got a blanket on. She's still fucked up disease. They're still touching her and carrying her, and close enough she can breathe on their faces. But yet they're taking her to her shack because, we hope we don't get infected. So let me stand this close to her and also touch her as fucking shit. Even, I mean, the original, it had the score I thought was okay at times in this. Mainly the end credits. I actually don't mind the score in the end credits of the film, but the score to the original had more to it. I think the composer worked with, I forget who, but a famous director. I forget who, but like the score seemed more interesting than the original. The original had actually a clever opening title sequence. I will give it that, where in the original everything's nice and fine, and then everything's sort of dying as if it's being infected, and it goes from light to dark, and as if the virus is affecting the screen. I'm like, I will give credit where credit's due. Some people think I don't do that. That was a good way to open up the original. Here, they don't do any of that. It's just cabin fever. You still have the hermit. Oh shit, where's my dog? But the dog is called Pancakes, which is weird because later on the kid still says Pancakes. So I'm like, well, I think Brad Jones actually reviewed this, and now that I remember, he even said, "What is the kid yelling for the dog Pancakes?" He didn't review it as a cinema stop. I think he just saw it with his girlfriend at the time. I just remember that now. But yeah, he was like, "What is the kid yelling for the dog Pancakes that we saw at the opening?" So, but Travis Z, I just didn't think that through. The kids still grow up, but to the fucking Shining music. Uh, Instead of this like BB gun type rifle in the original, the guy Burt brings a fucking assault rifle, and he talks about video games. The party man, hey, I'm the party man, is a party woman who's this like hot blonde woman who may be a lesbian. At the end, the kid doesn't do karate, but he still comes up and bites the guy's hand. It's not at the end of the film, but in the third act. Instead of when the Ryder Strong character fell into the water, a guy attacks the lead in the water and is still alive. Instead of Bert shooting himself as a cutaway, that's big blood splash. He's talking to his friend and he gets like right here a little bullet hole, right here. When the lead guy gets in a car crash at the end, it's not the weird deer getting hit. It's just, oh shit, I'm sick, and he crashes his car. In the original, when the guy gets hit, there's a guy who gets hit with a guitar, and the guy swallows like a harmonica, which is kind of a neat effect. No, the guy just gets hit in the face. I think the original Ryder Strong was in a hospital, and he had this weird stuff Eli Roth was trying to do, and then he was left for dead in the woods. Here, the party woman just told him the wrong way. He ran to the woods and realized she told him the wrong way because there's no road, and he dies in the woods. You don't have you think he's a racist, but he's not really a racist store guy. It just ends with they're picked up the bodies of the cabin, and then it cuts to a woman. Like instead of the original where the water's being taken, and oh shit, that infected water's going to go wherever. It's a woman looking at her friend's Facebook, I think the more blondish woman. And I guess she added her fucked up body to her Facebook photos, including a scene before she died. And I'm like, wow, even when you're almost dead, you don't go on Facebook to post those pictures. Okay. I mean, at least it get the word out there, I guess. But, so, I mean, they do tweets of that level in nature, but the rest of it, it's literally the asshole goes out to hunt squirrels or whatever. Uh, Accidentally shoots at this guy. The beginning, the hermit sees his dog and it fucking opens up and it's dead. The two guys, they look through the area from house to house and they find a woman who's cutting up a pig. They ask the woman, they find out that the guy they were fucking with is this woman's son. They leave. The diseased hermit guy wants help. They burn him. He leaves. He gets out of there. Even lines of dialogue where they had a bet where they're supposed to just drink beer, not water. And like Bert takes the water at one point, which is how he gets sick. And one of the characters says, Bert, you lost the bet. That was in the original. I mean, so same lines of dialogue for the most part. Like the general same scenes. When the Bert comes up and pancakes and bites him on the hand. Then the three guys chase him. The one woman, you have the same scene where fuck up her legs. The one guy who gets shot at the end, instead of getting shot like 50 times, he just gets shot once by the party woman. And he's like, I made it! In the original, in this one, he sees a mark on his hand and he realizes he's sick and then he gets shot. This is such a useless, pointless movie. So pointless. Like, you have the ability to remake Cabin Fever, and you can go in so many directions, and you follow pretty much the same path, but it's like, okay, let's not have him do karate moves, this kid, and let's put in the music from The Shining, and instead of Ryder Strong killing these three guys, and uh, more hands-on way. He shoots the three guys. This lead guy shoots the three assholes with the assault rifle. Eh, I don't really get still what was the point of this movie. When you go on IMDb and it's like a 3.4, apparently I'm not fucking alone in that. And the characters are more boring, have no personality. At least like Ryder Strong was not that bad in the original. And some of the others they had like more personality. And whether you like or hate the comedy, I was kind of turned off by good chunks of it. It gave it a little bit more. I mean, sadly, this makes me like the original a little bit more, but I wouldn't say I still like it. But I would say it still nothing from Brad Jones, Cinema Snob. Now that I remember his review, he said at least the original tried. This one doesn't try. It's this is why you can't remake shitty movies. Like I don't think the original Cabin Fever was that great. This is way way worse, and it makes me like the original one or two notches more. Well, man, was that their fucking purpose to make an even shittier movie to make people like the original more? Was it? I guess it's in a weird roundabout way genius. I guess. I don't know what else to say. Except Stream Factory released this Blu-ray. It was IFC Midnight and Stream Factory released this. Really? Wasted your fucking time releasing this, Shout Factory? Can't believe I got fucking 17 minutes out of this. But yeah, that's Cabin Fever, the reboot. Even the little interviews, they kept calling it Cabin Fever reboot. They didn't even say Cabin Fever, they said Cabin Fever reboot. Maybe they thought this would be successful and then they'll make sequels. I don't know. I don't know what was the point of this. A quick buck. Quick cash in. So good job, Travis Z. Z for what? I mean, have a fucking last name at least. Like McG, is that what it's like? McG, McCheeseburger? Travis Z, because that's how you feel after watching this movie. But that's Cabin Fever. Thanks for watching. Take care. And man, this was fucking useless.